This is Android 16 4th beta. It comes with new updates and features. A few days ago, I made a video about the Android 16 terminal in the 3rd beta. Now with beta 4, the terminal application has been updated and improved. Now this update makes Linux support better, so you can now run full desktop environments like GNOME and KDE Plasma. As you can see, I'm using a Pixel 7a running Android 16 4th beta. The built-in Linux terminal lets you run Debian Linux with a full graphical interface. Now, this feature is powered by the Android Virtualization framework, which was first introduced in Android 13. By Android 15, AVF had gained the ability to run graphical operating systems in virtual machines with full GPU acceleration. Unlike Termux, the new terminal application in Android 16 lets you run a full Linux distribution in a virtual machine right out of the box. For example, I installed the GNOME desktop on a Debian VM in Android 16 and the experience has been amazing. I was even able to run heavy applications like VSCODE and GIMP without any major issues. Since Android 16 is still in 4th beta, GPU acceleration isn't fully available yet, so it currently uses software rendering. Now even so, the desktop environment runs smoothly. Now let me show you how to run Linux on Android 16. You will need a Pixel device for this to work properly. It's not clear yet if this feature will be available on other brands in the future. To get started, open the Settings application, go to About Phone and tap the build number several times to turn on developer options. Next, go to the developer options and find the Linux development environment and enable it. Once it's enabled, find the terminal application in your app drawer and open it. You will need to download a Debian Linux image, which is about 600 megabytes. So make sure you have connected to Wi-Fi, then tap Install and wait for the installation to finish. Now, the first step is to set a password for the default user droid using the sudo command. Once it's done, you can update the package list and install software just like on any other Linux system. For example, I installed NeoFetch and HTOP and both work perfect. With the 4th beta, the terminal application includes some enhancements to the tab feature. The tabs lets you run long commands in one tab while doing other tasks in another one. Now each tab shows the username and hostname, which is a nice touch. It's a great addition and makes perfect sense for a terminal application. The Android 16 terminal also supports features like disk resizing, port control, and recovery. To resize the disk, click the Settings gear icon next to the tabs. Then choose Disk Resize to increase the size of the root file system. Previously, you could only allocate up to 16 GB for Linux, but with the 4th beta, you can now allocate up to around 90 GB, which is amazing. After resizing, restart the terminal to apply the changes. Now, this gives you more storage space for Linux, so you can install more GUI applications, save large language models, and much more. Now, if I run this command, you can see the increased file system size. Overall, I would say Android 16 appears to be one of the best updates in recent years. But thanks to Android Virtualization framework, Android devices can now run virtual machines and emulate other operating systems. And that's all for now about Linux on Android 16 4th beta, which is almost stable. If you want to run GNOME desktop on the Android 16 terminal, I have linked a video in the description. Thank you so much for watching. This has been KSK Ryo. I will see you in the next one.